Hello students, we are learning English grammar and the topic for today is infinitives. So we will be studying three types of infinitives. The first one is either called as only infinitives or full infinitives or simple infinitives. The second type is bare infinitives and the third type is two and two infinitives. We will see all these infinitives one by one. Infinitives are a type of non-finite verbs. Now, if you remember, we have studied non-finite verbs and finite verbs in the chapter Parts of Speech. So, non-finite verbs do not change with the change in tense or with the change in number of subject. Also remember that infinitives are always in V1. Infinitives are verb noun which takes an object if the verb is transitive. Now verb noun means infinitives are verbs which can also act as nouns and it can take an object if the verb is transitive. Let us see how it can take an object. And if you remember, transitive and intransitive are also types of verbs. Transitive verbs are the verbs which have an object and intransitive verbs don't have an object. So if the verb is transitive, infinites can also take an object. Let us see with the help of an example. To eat fruits and vegetables is good for health. Now, in this sentence, the first thing to eat, the sentence starts with to eat. Now, here, to eat is a verb, it is an infinitive verb, but here it acts as a subject. So, this line is clear that infinitives are verb noun. Now subjects are nouns. So here to eat is an infinitive which is acting as a noun here. So infinitives are verb nouns. That means verbs acting as nouns which takes an object. Now let us read the sentence further. To eat fruits and vegetables is good for health. Now if eat is the verb, fruits and vegetables is the object. So fruits and vegetables is the object which is taken up by this infinitive which is acting as a noun. So now I hope this sentence is clear. Infinitives are verb nouns. That means they are verbs which can also act as nouns and which takes an object. So here the object is fruits and vegetables. They take object if the verb is transitive. Now here eat. Eat is a transitive verb. So that's why it has taken the object fruits and vegetables. Let us move ahead. Let us start with the first type of infinitive, full infinitives or simple infinitives. These infinitives are to plus first form of verb, to plus V1. Such formation are called as full infinitives or simple infinitives. Some main verbs generally take infinitive after themselves. That means full infinitives are not main verbs. Full infinitives are not main verbs, but there are some other main verbs which take full infinitives as the second verb. Let us see this with the help of examples. She wants to meet me. Now here as we can see that to meet is full infinitive because full infinitive is to plus the first form of verb. So to meet is the infinitive. The main verb is wants. Wants is the main verb. So full infinitives are never main verbs. They are the secondary verbs which are taken up by the main verb. So to meet is the secondary verb which is taken up by the main verb wants. Let us look at the second example. You are requested to stay home. Now to stay. To stay is an infinitive. And the main verb here is requested. So again, full infinitives or simple infinitives are not main verbs. In a sentence, there will be a main verb and an infinitive. A main verb and an infinitive. Let us look at this last example. I know how to drive a car. Okay, so here to drive is an infinitive and know is the main verb. So in a sentence, wherever there are full infinitives, there will be a main verb plus there will be to plus v1, which is our full infinitives or simple infinitives. Let us move ahead. Now let us see what are bare infinitives. The infinitive without to is called bare infinitive. Now bare, the word in itself means either naked or uncovered. Bare means uncovered or bare means when something is missing. So in infinitive we have 2 plus v1, but when we talk about bare infinitives there is no 2. There's only the verb v1. So infinitive without 2 is called bare infinitive. The bare infinitive is used as the main verb after the dummy auxiliary verb do or most modal auxiliary verbs such as will, should, can, etc. So this means that in case of bare infinitive, we can say that the bare infinitive acts as a main verb, but this is only after a dummy auxiliary verb. So again here it is not really acting as a main verb, but there is an auxiliary verb such as do or will or should or can or some other words. For example, I do know him. Now here do is this dummy auxiliary verb and here know is the bare infinitive. Now if there is no to, how will we come to know that the word is a bare infinitive? So always look for words which are V1. That means words in their root form. So whenever we encounter V1 and before V1 there is some dummy auxiliary verb or real auxiliary verbs or some other verbs, in that case this V1 will become our bare infinitive. Several common words of perception like see, feel, hear, watch and sense take a direct object and a bare infinitive. Now words of perception means the words related to our five senses like see, feel, hear, watch, sense. These are the five senses which we possess. So in case of verbs of perception, there is a direct object and a bare infinitive. Let us see this with the help of examples. I saw it happen. Now here saw is the main verb and happen is in V1. So happen is the bare infinitive. Now here we have two words saw and happen. So saw is in V2 form and happen is in V1 form. And as we know that infinitives are always in V1, so happen is our infinitive and the object is it. So saw is a verb of perception. It has taken a direct object it, and there is a bare infinitive happen. Let us look at the second example. I watched it happen. Now again there are two verbs, watched and happen. Watched is in V2 and happen is in V1. So we know that happen is our bare infinitive and watched is the verb of perception. It is a direct object and happen is the bare infinitive. The bare infinitive is also used with several common verbs of permission. Verbs of permission, that means verbs giving us permission to do something, including make, bid, let, and have. Let us look at the example. And yes, I have added two more words, dare and need. So always remember, bare infinitives are used with words like make, bid, let, have, dare, need. You'll have to memorize these words. Let us look at the example. I let him do it. Now here we can see that let is in the list of words. With these words we use bare infinitives. So let us move ahead in this sentence. I let him do it. Now here do is in V1 form. So this V1, this do is our bare infinitive. Let us read this example. I made him go. Now here made is again in this list here, make. So go is in V1, which is our bare infinitive. Now remember that these words make, bid, let, have, dare, need, they themselves are not bare infinitives, but these words, whenever they are used in a sentence, they will follow bare infinitives. That means bare infinitives will be added after these words, and these words themselves are not bare infinitives, but bare infinitives will be used after these words in sentences, just like I let him do it. So here do is the bare infinitive which is used after let. I made him go. Go is the bare infinitive which is used after the word made. I hope it is clear. Let us move ahead. Bare infinitives are also used with had better, would rather than, sooner than. Now we will see the meaning of these words in sentences. Look at this example. You had better apologize for your mistake. That means here apologize means to say sorry or maafi mangna, right? So you had better apologize for your mistake. So we can see there is had better. So with had better, bare infinitives are used. So apologize is the bare infinitive because it is in V1 form and it is followed by had better. And here as we can see, had better, rather, would rather than, and sooner than, they are not bare infinitives, but in a sentence bare infinitives will be used after these words. Just like in this example, this bare infinitive is used after these words had better. Second example, she would rather study abroad. Now here would rather, after would rather we have study. Study is a verb, it is in V1 form. So study is a bare infinitive. In the third example, I prefer an umbrella rather than walk in rain. Now here we have rather than, after rather than there is walk, and this walk is in V1 form. So this is the bare infinitive. Also in this sentence we have one more word, prefer, which is also in V1, and walk is also in V1. So how will we know which of these two words is actually a bare infinitive? This is the answer. Bare infinitives are used with had better, would rather than, sooner than. And here we can see in this sentence we have rather than here. So the word next to rather than is our bare infinitive. So here walk is bare infinitive. Next example, Richa would sooner sell her jewelry than ask for money. Now here again sooner than is the word after which our bare infinitive will be used. So here we have sooner than. So ask is the bare infinitive. Also sell is a bare infinitive. So here we have two bare infinitives, sell and ask. Both of them are V1 and both of them are used after sooner than. Also remember that bare infinitives are also used with why or why not. For example, why study? So here study is a bare infinitive. Why not go there today? So here go is the bare infinitive. Now let us move on to the next topic, using to and the to infinitive. So let us do this with the help of examples. This is the first sentence. Raman was so tired that he could not walk anymore. Now here if you look at the sentence formation, we have so plus not, like this. So whenever we are supposed to use to and to, we have to remove this not from the sentence. Consider this. Raman was too tired to walk anymore. So as you can see in the first sentence, we have so plus not, but in the second sentence we just have to. We don't have not in this sentence. So that is the rule. Let us see one more example. Reena was too excited to sleep. So here we just have 2 plus 2, like this. In the second sentence, Reena was so excited that she could not sleep. So here we have so plus not, like this. So this is the rule. Whenever we have so plus not, we have to remove the word not and add 2 plus 2. If we have 2 plus 2, we have to introduce the word not with so. Only then our sentence will be grammatically correct. Let us move ahead. Joining sentences using infinitives. Now this means if more than one sentences are given, we are supposed to join those sentences into one sentence using infinitives. Let us see the examples. Meeta read the news. She was not surprised. Now we are supposed to join this with infinitives. That means 2 plus V1, because full infinitives or simple infinitives are also called as only infinitives. So here in this sentence we know that 2 can be used only after the verb V1. So here there are two verbs, read and surprised. So we have to decide whether to use to with read or to use to with surprised. Let us try it one by one. So if we use to before surprised, so the sentence will be Meeta read the news to surprise. Now that does not make sense. So let us try again with the next verb, read. So Meeta was not surprised to read the news. Now the sentence is correct. So you can take the second sentence first, or you can take the first sentence in the second position. That does not make a difference, but make sure that the meaning remains the same. Also, you can take the more important piece of information in the sentence as the main clause. That means here we have taken she was not surprised. Here in the main clause, Meeta was not surprised. And then the first sentence has gone into the second part, to read the news. So it is up to us. We can see which part is more important or which part happened first, and then we can change the position of these parts. Let us read the second example. Preeti received a gift from her uncle. She was overjoyed. Now here too we have two words, receive and overjoyed, and we have to decide whether to use to with received or to with overjoyed. So let us try. If we write to overjoyed, this does not make sense. This makes our sentence incorrect because she was too overjoyed is wrong. Let us try again. Receive a gift. So to receive a gift. Okay, now this makes sense. So we know that to will be used with receive. So this sentence will become Preeti was overjoyed to receive a gift from her uncle. Now here too we have moved this part here, and this first sentence has gone into the next part. And here when we were moving this part, at the first place we have substituted the pronoun with the noun Preeti. So we have not started with she was overjoyed like it is given in the sentence. We have started with Preeti was overjoyed because in a sentence the proper noun comes first and the pronoun comes later. I hope this is clear. Now students, here we have your exercises, your textbook exercises. So please pause the video, complete your exercises in your textbook, and then you can move ahead. So this is your exercise A. You have to fill in the blanks using suitable infinitive forms, that means 2 plus V1 forms. So these are the answers. This is your question number B. Here you have to fill in the blanks using how to, where to, whether to, who to, or what to, and choose any of these verbs which fit with the sentences. This is your exercise C. So here you have to fill in the blanks either with to infinitive or with bare infinitive. Remember the list of words which were given to be used before bare infinitives. They will help you with bare infinitives. For example, let. We saw that before bare infinitives, let is used. We have also seen that would rather is used before bare infinitives. Had better is used with bare infinitives. So remember those words and this will be easy. This is your exercise D. So here you have to rewrite the sentences using to and to, just like we have discussed. So if there is not in the sentence, if there is not in the question, like in all the questions there is not used, as you can see. So in the answers we have to omit not. In the answers we don't have to use not, we just have to use to and to. This is your exercise E. You have to rewrite the sentences using infinitives, and you can do other changes if required. So this is also given. You can pause the video and complete the sentences in your textbook. Then we have this, join the pair of sentences using infinitives. So here two sentences are given and we are supposed to join the sentences using infinitives, which are to plus verb, to hear, to see, to take, to enjoy, to play, to lift, to see. So you can try to do these on your own and later you can check it with the video to see if your answers are correct. So that's all students for today. Thank you for watching.